that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the worldly things easy for you, as we learn from these verses, that is not a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased and happy with your actions.
وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسُ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاءُ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ الله يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين.
Today we'll be taking a look at verses number 13 to 16 and benefiting and being empowered from the Quran. And there are many different parts and there are different lessons in this verse. First and foremost is the notion of name calling. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned when some people they are being invited to have faith, to adopt the taqwa of Allah, to submit to Allah, they would use name calling to justify that, look, I don't need to be like these people. And they also use name calling to turn away others from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sometime you might see again, we've talked about this in the previous episodes, right? Name calling is a very dangerous thing. People may just have this propaganda, call names, put titles, and this shuts down people. So that's why it's also very important to look at the ideas, to look at the reality. So in this verse, for example, it talks about people calling them fools. Sometimes people may call people fundamentalists, backward, lacking knowledge, having no idea of what's going on in the real world. Whatever people use these things to emotionally charge you, slow down and think about the ideas behind the topic. And then the second thing here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying is that these people who are calling them these names, they themselves are the fools, but they do not realize. And this is another thing that's very important, because how do you judge your success today? Most of the people judge their success based on their followers, how people are reacting to the content that they're posting on social media, and so on and so forth. But do we really pause and think about, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liking the statements I'm making? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liking the actions that I'm doing? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liking the private state of my heart? And that is a very important question. And sometimes what people like may be at odds with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like. And we need to think about how much time and consciousness we give to thinking about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes, and who do we prioritize? Do we prioritize people, or do we prioritize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The second thing we realize is the notion of that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the worldly things easy for you, as we learn from these verses, that is not a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased and happy with your actions. Because it is possible, and it's a normal and usual case, that if you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are being ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is increasing you in ease and more of worldly gains. That is usually a sign that things are not going right, because what that will do is that now you will get more intoxicated, you'll get more distracted by your worldly pleasures, and you will not think and fix yourself. So that's a really important thing, is to think about how am I reacting when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving me more, and to watch out and to fix ourselves even if the dunya is becoming easy for us. Lastly, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a very important point, that it may seem like that these people who are turning away from faith or being hypocrites or what have you, they may seem like, okay, I'm becoming richer, I'm becoming healthier, I'm having more and more power and success in this world. But essentially what they're doing is they're trading the guidance of Allah for the misguidance from people, or for the misguidance from their own self. And this will not be a profitable trade, and it will lead to eternal loss. May Allah protect us from it.